You guys feeling any whiplash? I'm glad you're here. You made it. Thank you. I'm sure it was complicated. Ella is printing off some schedules, so if you have any questions, she's got a printer ready to go to give you anything you might need. I'm actually not here to talk to you about plant medicine, so maybe we get a little bit of a break. But before I begin, I just want to take a deep breath with you. Close your eyes, take a moment. Thank you for being here. While your eyes are closed, think back to a moment. Could have been years ago, might be last night. A moment when you were close to feeling someone else's breath, but not yet their lips. There's an electric pause, chemical interaction, the ache of maybe, the breathlessness of almost. Do you remember? What was happening in your body in the moment that you are currently sitting in is neurobiology. Blushing is the only involuntary expression of human emotion, and I say human because it's exclusive to humans. Blushing is the only involuntary human emotion. It's the only thing you can't control. It's when your biology says you're feeling vulnerable. It's a nervous system broadcast to the person that you're with. In relationships, this is a critical threshold. It's a somatic sign that you have actually experienced the vulnerability. That moment that you're thinking of is the lead up to a first kiss, maybe. Maybe it's the hope of a first kiss. So let's talk about kissing. Specifically, what happens in our bodies 30 seconds after we begin. Dopamine surges, adrenaline is released, oxytocin is released, your cortisol actually drops. Did you hear that? Kissing relieves stress. Mirror neurons activate, and your breathing actually synchronizes. The body is entertaining itself to the idea of trust. But the magic isn't the kiss. It's that moment before, the stillness, the human connection, the chemistry of two people interacting. Now, there is magic within the kiss as well. Can you see it? We don't need audio. I want to talk about another chemical that mimics this response. In couples therapy, we use MDMA for almost the same purposes. MDMA activates a particular serotonin receptor that increases a human ability to trust. So in couples, after a fracture in a relationship, you can actually show up with that thing that I talk about on a pretty regular basis, curiosity and kindness. What happens in the body when you're showing up? Similarly, we do activities in Tantradelic that involve vulnerability. We push a little on some things that might feel awkward. like synchronizing your breath without the kiss, touching your forehead to another, staring into someone else's eyes. What we're doing there is exploiting, in a safe way, vulnerability. I think the magic of human connection is in the ability to be vulnerable with each other, with another. That moment before a kiss, the moment after a rupture in your relationship is healed, the moment after your couples retreat. Specifically, both kissing and MDMA reduces amygdala reactivity. Your fear melts. The same as that moment before the kiss, dopamine, serotonin rise. The body actually opens. Oxytocin floods your system, the love hormone. Are you familiar with oxytocin? This is the hormone that makes women fall in love with the alien that just came out of their vagina in a cone-shaped head and pimply. Think it's the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. And it is, because of the oxytocin. With MDMA-assisted couples therapy, we watch couples lean in, breathe together, cry into each other's hands. Not because they forgot love before any particular rupture or fracture in a relationship, but because they finally remembered how it felt before they were interrupted. MDMA is known for recreational use. That's mildly problematic in relationship space for the reasons I just discussed. The oxytocin is flooding your body. The dopamine, the serotonin, adrenaline are flooding your body with a stimulating effect. What if the person that you are learning to trust, being open to trust, chemically being wired to trust, isn't safe? How do you know when somebody is safe? Unfortunately, MDMA is not the best recreational, give me a word, recreational choice substance that's the better one. Because we need to know that when we are exploiting our vulnerability, we're being held in a safe place. What happens if you have oxytocin flowing and it's not your beautiful baby that it's flowing with? What if it's with your abuser? It happens. Have you guys ever had a bad relationship? And you add the surge of chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and specifically a branch of serotonin that nobody really understands just yet, but specifically makes us feel the feeling of trust and safety, even if it's not there. So we try to be careful about to whom we prescribe. We try to be careful about with whom we collaborate. We try to be careful about the couples individually and together so that the fracture in their relationship and the connection that needs to be rebuilt is rebuilt safely. Earlier, I said exploitation, quote unquote, of vulnerability safely. And I mean that. Everybody is very excited about all of the trials with psychedelics, and they are spectacular. But I don't think we can move forward in a safe, meaningful way without understanding that the human connection isn't always magical. In this space, hopefully, it is magical. How do you know when you can trust your partner? How do you know when you can trust your practitioner, your plant medicine facilitator? Do you have the ability to have a trusting relationship before and after the medicine? How do you know what safe is? Do you know what safe is? I define safety as the ability to speak. You know you're safe when you can share your truth. You know you're safe when you're safe to speak. So do you know that you've been safe? I'm assuming, nobody is nodding, that you have found safety at some point in your life. Good. Rebuilding a human connection in a relationship using MDMA can be tricky, but it can also be one of the most beautiful and one of the most meaningful tools to repair a fracture. We're using the flood of hormones to move beyond the feeling of the fracture or the break so that you can open up and be trusting, even if it's just for a few hours. MDMA was, what's the right word? It wasn't created at the same time. It was utilized a lot in therapy in the 70s by a group of people who used it inside of a circle. Inside that circle, they were using it for couples therapy with consenting adults and found that it was a magic cure. And I'm here to tell you that it can be. It is lovely. It makes you feel everything. And that can be magic. So as long as we're safe, as long as you are ready, as long as you have a practitioner who is capable of navigating the potential for abuse, not with the medicine, but within the relationship, we get to have magical results. I'm excited to be able to introduce to you in Florida the opportunity to utilize MDMA-assisted therapies. Thank you.